Hi friends, today's story is called Stone Soup, and that's the title of our story. And it's retold by Heather Forrest, and it's illustrated by Susan Gaber. Stone Soup. That's an interesting title. Who would put stones in their soup? Let's find out. Stone Soup. There was once a comfortable little village nestled in the mountains. The people who lived there had more than enough to keep themselves content. One day 2 travelers came along. Their coats were tattered, their hats were torn, and their dusty shoes had holes in their soles. They were hungry and tired. One traveler said to the other, "Surely someone here can spare a bit of food." They knocked boldly on the door. It creaked open, and a woman asked, "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The woman squinted her eyes and said, "No," as she quickly slammed the door shut. Oh, that wasn't very nice. The travelers walked a little farther down the road and knocked on another door. A young boy answered. His chocolate brown eyes were sweet. "Good day," he said shyly. "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The boy replied, "There's no food here," and he closed the door. The travelers wandered wearily through the village, knocking on every door, but everywhere they heard, "I don't care. I won't share. There's no food." They sat to rest beside a well. One traveler sighed, and he clenched his empty belly. He said, "If there is really no food in this elegant little village, then the people who live here are in greater need than we are. We should make them our magical soup." The 2 travelers climbed up on the edge of the well and shouted, "We are master cooks. If anyone in this town has a big black pot, we will make the most delicious soup anyone ever tasted." A door slowly opened and a round man emerged carrying a gigantic black pot. "I love to eat," he said. "Here's a pot. Let me see what 2 master cooks can do with it." "Watch and see," said one traveler with glee. The travelers filled the pot with cold water, and they built a fire. Soon the flames licked the sides of the pot, and billows of steam rose into the air. Curious people began to gather. "What is happening?" the townspeople asked. "We are making an unusual soup," said one of the travelers. "It requires a special magical ingredient, and I'm certain we will find it in this town." All the eyes in the crowd watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked up an ordinary stone. He tossed it into the pot with a splash. "We're making stone soup," he said. "It will be nutritious, delicious, incredible, and edible. But it would taste better," he paused and sighed, "if we only had a carrot." "Where will we find a carrot in this town?" the other travelers asked. "We knocked on every door, and everywhere we heard, 'I don't care. I won't share. There's no food.' Then perhaps we cannot make the delicious soup after all." They both announced with a sad shrug of their shoulders and began to turn away. A child timidly raised her hand and said, "Wait, I might have a small carrot." "Excellent!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." This magical soup would even taste better if we had a potato, they added. A deep voice in the back of the crowd called out, I have a potato. Wonderful, shouted the travelers. Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. It would taste better still, they said, if we had just a few more ingredients. Perhaps, said one villager, I could bring a green bean. Well, said another, if you're going to bring a green bean, I will bring a kernel of corn. I shall not be outdone, cried another. I will bring an egg noodle. One by one, the voices announced, I will bring a slice of celery. I'll bring a pinch of pepper. I can bring a sprig of parsley. I might have a tiny turnip. Well, why aren't you waiting? Cried the travelers. Why are you waiting? Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. Oh, so look at everybody's decided to help, and they're all participating, all cooperating, all bringing a vegetable or an ingredient to put in the soup. Everyone in the town ran home to bring one small thing to put in the pot. Food flew through the air and landed with splashes in the growing soup. Soon the huge pot was full and simmering. A wonderful smell drifted through the air. The smell was so tempting. People brought out bowls, spoons, chairs, and tables. They placed hearty loaves of bread and chunks of cheese and bowls of fruit on the tablecloths. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at the flavor. It's amazing, said one woman. These two travelers made such a delicious soup out of a stone. Out of a stone, said the travelers with a grin, and a magical ingredient called sharing. As the travelers left the town, they said, if anyone ever wants to make this soup again, just remember the recipe. Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. Every bit counts, from the largest to the least. Together we can celebrate a stone soup feast. So did they eat a stone? No. They ate all the yummy ingredients that everybody brought, right? How to make your own stone soup. So you can look at this if you like. There's a bunch of ingredients. Carrots, potatoes, and celery, and peas, and corn, and green beans, and broccoli, and cauliflower, pasta, pepper, bread. Whew, that's a lot of ingredients to make a soup, but I bet it'd be very, very yummy. So this story is about sharing. So when you share, you can make something great, can't you? And it fed so many people, and they loved it. All right, I hope you enjoyed the story today. Bye, friends.